Hello, this is IK Tutors, and we're here to help you with a HESI question. Okay, so let's get started. This notation here, with all these dots, it can be very interesting. It's actually known as proportion format. And when you see that, that's great. The thing about this format is that you cannot do any arithmetic with it. So if they're asking you to solve, we had to put the proportion format in another format. We're going to put it in fractional format. Okay. So let's go ahead and start the question. All right. So to the right, I've written down the technique is a quick three-step technique doing any proportion problem you encounter on a HESI, whether it be an equation like this or a word problem. All right, so let's get started. The first step is we're going to write the equivalence of two fractions. So what is that? That's exactly what it sounds like. We're going to write one fraction equals another, right? I also want to demystify these four dots. All they mean is this equal sign right here. That's all they mean. That's it, demystified. Now these two, the dots between the numbers, so this is one ratio and this is the other ratio, right? Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to convert those ratios to fractions because, as we said, we cannot do any arithmetic with ratios. So we have two numbers in a ratio, two numbers in a fraction, so it should be pretty simple. The only thing we need to know is which number goes on top. Well, for proportion ratios, the number on the left always goes on top. So it's going to be 2 over 5. And again, we're going to do this one on this side. The number on the left always goes on top. So that's going to be 130 over x. All right, so now we have it, the equivalence of two fractions. This is the first step on any proportion problem we get. We have to do this. And note, we have one fraction equal another, and there's an x. It's always going to be an x in either the top or bottom of one of the fractions, right? One fraction equals another, and there's always an x on the top and the bottom, top or the bottom of one of the fractions, and that's the normal format for a proportion problem. So now we've done step one. Let's do step two. Step two is to get that equation we were talking about. We can't solve an equation, we don't have one. So we have to cross multiply the tops and the bottoms to get the equation. So let's go ahead and get our equation. So we have 2 on the top times x on the bottom. That gives us 2x equals 130 on top times 5 on the bottom. So that's going to give us 5 times 130. All right, so step two is done. We got our equation. We cross multiply the top and bottom to get our equation. Now we're going to do the last step, which is simplify and solve. So we have 2x equals 5 times 130 is 650. And now we're going to go ahead and solve this. And how do we solve? We use our solve tools. We focus on the variable side of the equal sign. We look at what operations happen to our variable. Here, when we have two things close together, it means multiplication. So we're multiplying our variable by 2, and we're going to do the opposite of the operation. So we're going to divide by 2. And whenever we perform an operation on it, right, and when there's an equal sign, whatever operation we do on one side of the equal sign, we have to do an identical operation on the other side. So we're going to divide the other side of the equal sign by 2 as well. And now we're going to simplify. 2x divided by 2 is 1x, which is simply x because the 1 is invisible in algebra. And on the other side equal sign, we have 650 divided by 2, which is just 325. So this is the answer we're going to look for in the multiple choice option for this question. And that's it. So I hope you guys, this helped you guys, right? If you have any questions about any step that we did, feel free to put it in the chat and our staff will answer you. Okay. If not, you can also go to the St. Paul School of Nursing HESI support site and go to the contact us form and you can type in your question there and then enter your contact information and click the green submit button and someone will get back to you through there. All right. So I hope this helped. And if it did, please remember to like and subscribe. And I will see you in the next video. Have an amazing day.